Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We're back for another video called Stock of the Day, and I'm actually going to have two stock picks for you leading into Monday for this week. One's going to be a long side play, and one is going to be a downside play. But first, before we jump into that, let's talk about SPY. Apologize for my voice. I am a little sick right now, so if there is any difference in quality of voice or any cracking here and there, just excuse that given the fact that I'm a little sick. But let's go ahead and jump in to SPY. So first and foremost, we've been consolidating in this box for quite some time, and we've been waiting for a reaction out of this zone. As you can see, we have moved up out of this zone, and the next key levels that I'm keeping an eye on are 390.41, 391.70, and then the gap fill up here around 396. But before we get there, I want to throw something your way. Every time we've consolidated, actually I should say half the time that we've consolidated, we have made an initial move up and then come right back down. Got an initial move up, got a second day of potential fall through, come right back down. Now these 2 days did not, they just resulted in actual follow through to the direction of trend. But these days resulted in a 1 move, 2 day move up and then right back down. This obviously was Jackson Hole, and this I do not believe had a catalyst. That was just price action right there. So I'm still remaining cautious leading into the market given the fact that we're still underneath all the key moving averages. As you can see, even with all of these, they have rejected the key moving averages. So at this point, I'm keeping a close eye to see how we respect this trend. Maybe we are able to wick up and then roll back over at that point, but these key moving averages could act as a lot of overhead resistance as they have previously, pretty much catching every high. At this point, you can see they curled all of this price action even up in here. They were rejected. So this is your 20, 30, and 50 SMA right there for you. Now, very possible we do get back through these and we fill our gap. Awesome. Let's see what happens there. If we can get through that, we might have a move to test the upper trend. But we are in a historically bullish seasonality, but it's going to be very important to see how we react towards the later half of January as we start the earnings season. So going into this week, I'm cautiously optimistic for at least a move to 390.41, potentially 391.70, but keep a close eye on there if we can get through that. Once again, we have potential for 395, 396. But let's go ahead and jump into our picks of the week. First and foremost, our downside of play is Regeneron. All right, this is a higher time frame position, but as you can see, we have a clean rising wedge. We've broken down and we're coming back and we're retesting that now. So there's also the potential of this being another rising bearish pennant or flag depending on where price action goes. And once again, these normally result in something very similar to this where you roll back over. So this is something I'll be watching over the next few weeks. As a downside of play, you can see we have a major gap to fill to the downside, but I'll be keeping a close eye on this 200 SMA to see how we react around that 675 level. So this is something I'll be watching as a potential entry with some fall through over the next few weeks. Second play is Mara. Mara looks interesting at this point. It has broken out. It is starting to consolidate at this point. So a break of the prior high around this 432 level could get this thing going toward the upside. I'm going to throw a couple other plays at you just in case you do want to take them. Tesla's one. It had a bullish engulfing on the daily here. The weekly did put in another hammer candle right there for you to consider. That's another play to potentially play to the upside. And then there's also Square. Square is consolidating in this zone on the weekly chart. You can see we have bullish divergence playing out nicely. We're just watching for a move above this key downtrend line. If you can get a move above about 70.50, you can make your move up to 75, push that. You can make your move up back to 80 82 level. So there's just a few extra plays for you. Once again, my top plays are going to be Regeneron to the downside, and then also potentially playing Mara to the upside if it can break that 432 level. So those are just a few stocks. I know normally I do a weekly watch list. Given I'm sick, I'm not feeling up to it. That's why I gave you a few extra plays to consider. But that's going to be our stock of the day. Be sure you stay very nimble this week. We do have Jay Powell speaking on Tuesday, and we have CPI report coming out on Thursday. So it's going to be a very, very busy week for economic news, economic data. So keep your eye out for that. And once again, if you get value from these type of videos, please like, comment, subscribe as they support the channel. Thanks so much for always watching, hanging out with me, and I'll catch you on the next one.